Captain Zekthara's mandibles clicked with satisfaction as her crew reported the successful boarding of the human vessel. The sleek ship drifted powerless in the void, its primitive engines disabled by her crew's electromagnetic pulse. Another easy prize for the hegemony. "Scan for valuable cargo," she hissed to her subordinate. "These mammals always carry something worth taking." The boarding party had encountered minimal resistance. The humans had surrendered almost immediately when faced with superior hegemony firepower. Typical mammalian cowardice, Zekthara thought. She'd heard rumors about human ingenuity and determination, but clearly those were exaggerated tales spread by overly cautious traders. Lieutenant Vexel approached with a data pad. "Captain, the manifest shows they're carrying agricultural supplies and medical equipment to the Kepler colonies. Nothing particularly valuable." Zekthara's thorax vibrated with annoyance. "Search deeper. Strip their navigation computers and any technology we can salvage. Even if the cargo is worthless, their systems might fetch a decent price." What the captain didn't know was that the humans aboard the cargo vessel Determination had indeed surrendered quickly, but not out of fear. They had surrendered because they knew exactly what would happen next. Dr. Sarah Chen sat calmly in the ship's medical bay, her hands zip-tied behind her back, watching the insectoid raiders ransack her supplies. The lead alien barked orders in its chittering language while smaller creatures scurried about, gathering anything that looked valuable. "You're making a mistake," Sarah said quietly to the guard watching her. The creature's compound eyes glittered. "Silence, mammal. Your species has no authority here." Sarah smiled. "Oh, I'm not talking about authority. I'm talking about biology." Across the ship, the hegemony crew worked efficiently. They'd conducted hundreds of these raids over the years. Humans were notoriously easy targets. No natural armor, no venom, no enhanced strength. Just soft pink creatures who relied too heavily on their crude technology. In the cargo hold, a raider named Zithak pried open a container of medical supplies. Strange vials and packages spilled out. He selected a few items that looked expensive and moved on to the next crate. What Zithak didn't realize was that one of the vials he'd casually handled contained a sample of Streptococcus pyogenes. Perfectly harmless to humans with their robust immune systems, but absolutely devastating to arthropod-based life forms. The hegemony had made two critical errors. First, they assumed human medicine was primitive. Second, they believed their own propaganda about human weakness. Humans were indeed physically weaker than most galactic species. They had no natural weapons, no armored carapaces, no toxic bites. What they did have was something far more dangerous, an immune system forged in the fires of Earth's biological hell. For millions of years, humans had survived plagues, bacteria, viruses, and parasites that would annihilate entire alien civilizations. Their bodies were walking biological warfare laboratories, hosting countless microorganisms in perfect balance. To them, these were normal. To the rest of the galaxy, they were weapons of mass destruction. Dr. Chen had tried to warn them. Galactic law required ships carrying biological samples to post clear warnings. But the hegemony raiders couldn't read human script, and they certainly didn't bother with proper decontamination protocols. 6 hours after the raid began, Sithek started feeling unwell. His carapace itched, and his breathing became labored. Within 12 hours, half the boarding party was down with mysterious symptoms. By day 2, Captain Zekthara was frantically contacting every medical facility in the sector. The humans, meanwhile, sat in their detention area with resigned patience. They'd posted the warnings. They'd followed protocols. They'd even tried to surrender immediately to minimize contact. But the hegemony had a reputation for ignoring primitive safety measures. "Captain," Dr. Chen called out, as Zekthara's condition visibly deteriorated. "I'm a xenobiologist. I can help." Zekthara's pride warred with her desperation. You did this to us." "No," Sarah replied firmly. "You did this to yourselves. We carry warning labels for a reason. Humans aren't weak. We're walking biological disasters. Our immune systems are military grade because our planet tried to kill us for millions of years." The captain's mandibles trembled. "Can you cure this?" "Possibly. But I'll need access to my medical equipment and laboratory. The same equipment your crew just finished destroying." It took another 6 hours of watching her crew suffer before Zekthara's pride finally cracked. She ordered Sarah's restraints removed and gave her full access to the ship's remaining medical supplies. Working quickly, Dr. Chen synthesized a broad-spectrum antibiotic cocktail. It wouldn't cure everything, but it would buy them time. As she administered the treatment, she explained the harsh reality. "Every human ship carries biological warnings for a reason. We're not trying to intimidate anyone. We're trying to protect you. Our bodies host thousands of organisms that consider your species exotic delicacies." Zekthara barely managed to speak. Why help us?" Sarah checked the captain's vital signs. "Because despite what you might think, most humans don't enjoy watching people suffer. We just want to trade peacefully and be left alone." The recovery took weeks. The hegemony crew had to undergo extensive treatment and quarantine. Their ship's life support systems required complete sterilization. The economic cost of the raid far exceeded any potential profit. But the real cost was to the hegemony's reputation. Word spread quickly through the criminal networks. Human ships weren't easy targets. They were biological hazards wrapped in deceptively fragile packages. Captain Zekthara eventually made a full recovery, though she never forgot the lesson. In her official report, she wrote, "Recommend avoiding human vessels unless absolutely necessary. Cargo rarely worth the medical expenses." The determination continued its mission to the Kepler colonies, its crew slightly annoyed by the delay but otherwise unharmed. Dr. Chen filed her incident report with a familiar sense of frustration. Humans had tried to warn the galaxy that they were dangerous. Not because they were aggressive or militaristic, but because they were survivors of a world that had spent eons trying to kill them. The universe was vast and full of species with claws, venom, armor, and weapons, but none of them had faced the biological gauntlet that was Earth. As the human saying went, "It's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog." And humanity's fight had been brewing for millions of years.